we're gonna have a superstar here and there. It's just not gonna be many anymore.
So who's the last one we had?
And rap,
Yeah.
Pop Smoke.
Okay.
That off a street rapper that was a superstar. The last one we seen was Pop Smoke. I mean, if there's anybody else, let me know.
What's up? I'm Vanessa Satin, editor-in-chief of XXL. This is Inside Track Podcast. I'm here with Courtney Lowery, co-host, and we have Orlando Wharton, who is the EVP of Capital Music Group and president of Priority, correct?
Let's go.
Let's go.
Welcome,
All right.
welcome.
So let's jump into it. You go ahead, because I did the intro.
So prior to Capital Music, take us back to how you came to prominence.
How'd you get in?
In the music
How'd
business?
you get into the music business?
I'm just really hanging out with Clue.
Okay.
Hanging out with Clue, I met a lot of people and just seeing what other people were doing.
Okay.
Just went in that path from meeting Clue to meeting other people.
Did you always figure you were going to get into the music business, or did you stumble into it? How?
I mean, you know, back then it was kind of hard to get into the music business. It wasn't that easy.
Yeah.
And then you could dream about it looking at magazines like Double XL, but you know, you never think you're gonna make an impact or anything. You know, you keep your best foot forward and stay focused. Anything is possible.
So take us through the run. You were with Clue. Where'd you end up first?
Clue with Ransom and that mixtape era. When the mixtapes was really lit.
That's right.
And just, you know, working with 18, Ransom, Stack Bundles, Clue.
Okay.
Doing whatever had to be get done?
Anything.
Right, okay, yeah.
Anything. You know, back then we ain't had the emails, so you had to run, drive around, get the freestyles, sessions, and all types of shit. So, you know, just really setting stuff up.
So how did that lead to getting to the labels?
Into the labels, we met Mike Kaiser, just hanging out with him. He lived in Jersey, and we lived in Jersey. So we go to the label to see him.
Got you.
So now going to the label, you just see what they're doing up there.
And Mike Kaiser's Atlantic, so
Mike
you're
Kaiser's
just...
Atlantic, so you know he would just go up there and hang out and just see people working, like what this guy does, what that guy does,
Got you.
what they do over there. So you know you just.
You had a 300 tie-in also, right?
Yeah, that was.
Before?
After.
After, okay, so
yeah,
after.
like I met Kaiser, and you know I started just going to the label, hanging out, and then.
Got you.
300 formed, and then I just went to 300 because they ain't have anybody. I just went over there interning.
So during that time when you were running around with Clue, Clue is, you know, we know him from the radio. So obviously, so was it more were you focused on you know, records that you heard that were bubbling, or were you more focused on, you know, artists that you may have been turned on to or wanted to see rise and come to prominence?
I mean, more the artist side, because when I met Clue, I already had Ransom, and you know, it was like we was trying to get on, and he was like the Spotify of New York City at that time, so you know, it was like you had to get with him, and we just happened to be cool.
Okay.
And it was more like just hanging out with him, just getting to know people.
Okay.
So is that, I ignorantly, I don't know, I feel like that's your specialty, is getting to know people, getting to know the artists, getting to know about them, developing that first, Yeah,
definitely.
And then what? I want to sign you? How does that? What's the next step?
I
get to know you, but I want to sign you.
You want to get in business with them. You know, you offer them a deal.
So for you, you're at 300. You did an internship there. How long before you ended up at Atlantic? Because I know you mostly from Atlantic. A year.
A year. I was at 300 a year. Did a couple things there, and then I transitioned to Atlantic.
Got you. So what do you think? What was one standout that you would say once you got into the labels, let's say Atlantic, that kind of jump started everything and then really kind of brought you to, this is like my stamp right here as it relates for Atlantic?
Like Atlantic?
Yeah.
Atlantic was Kodak Black.
There you go.
Like that was really like something that was different, cultural. People was looking at it different. He was doing well. It sounded different. So that was really
how'd you find him, or how'd you connect with him?
I had to deal with Fetty Wap at 300.
Right.
You know, Fetty Wap was doing a show in Miami, and we had seen him.
All right, so run us through. You brought Fetty Wap to 300.
Yeah, I was going to say that was Fetty Wap was before
Atlantic, though. You said Atlantic.
Okay.
But I was at 300.
Got you. Yeah.
So the Fetty Wap thing was like, really new off SoundCloud. Like, people weren't popular.
The songs were undeniable,
Absolutely.
You still needed a huge cosign to get on back then. Like, nobody was really getting on their own. And he just came out of nowhere and shot past everybody.
Jersey,
back to back to back to back.
That really switched it
100%. He wasn't stopping with the hit singles.
So that's your first big signing.
That was like my first big signing.
So what'd that do for you? I mean, how did that change your confidence in all of it?
I mean, definitely. With the music shit, it's weird because you can like something and nobody can like it. So, you could think it's the best in the world and, you can have confidence with it, but it's like, nobody likes this shit.
Yeah.
Like, it's just really what people like and just putting the best stuff out you can put and see what happens.
And then there's how they handle it too, right? And what they do and the decisions they make or who they bring around them you're dealing with also, right?
I mean, there's a lot now, especially with a lot of young artists now. A lot of people don't have good management or good guidance. A lot of people fuck their careers up.
Right. And then, so you end up at Atlantic, you scoop Kodak, you were
Kodak,
PnB Rock.
PnB.
Because I remember there was a time you were hitting me left and right, and it was like, this guy, then that's Orlando too, and that's Orlando too, and you had everybody, And
PnB was, another young artist, but he ain't pop off as fast as Kodak. Like, he had, little rise. So, Kodak and PnB.
And then X, right?
Yeah, X too.
Right. That wasn't through Atlantic, but you had done,
Atlantic passed, and we had the situation with Ghazi, so I just took it to Ghazi, and Ghazi took over from there. But X definitely.
So we've lost X and we lost PnB Rock. How much did that hit you?
Yeah.
That these were guys early in the game,
and family to me.
Yeah.
Because I knew them since they was young, and I was really running around with them. I was just an A&R when I met them, so it was like more like a friendship with them. So it was like, it was like fucked up. PnB Rock was like family to me. I used to go everywhere with him.
Yeah.
PnB Rock was real cool.
A lot of people feel that losing those guys, losing other guys, Juice WRLD and such, ones that you were from, knew personally and didn't, but it has affected the landscape of hip hop moving forward because we didn't have that talent and we're lacking because of that. Do you think? Do you feel that way? You think?
Absolutely, especially now in this new era with all these young kids that even get killed now, and they don't even get to grow in their artistry, so you don't know who they would have become. So you missing out just on a lot of kids that would have made it, that would have made a big difference, but jail and death is really fucking the music business up.
Does that affect you signing people? Like you would hesitate signing a street artist ever because of that?
I won't hesitate at all, but it's like, it's only with so many superstars. And that's so let's say, like a Pop Smoke was supposed to be in New York for a minute. Like, it's not like it's 5 Pop Smokes, it's one. So now you lose a Pop Smoke, like that's New York for the next decade.
Right.
Yeah.
So now you don't know if you lost another Pop Smoke before he was Pop Smoke, because all these young kids, before they even putting 2-3 songs out, sometimes they get killed. Like that's messing the landscape up of music.
Yeah.
And then jail. So now you got New York drill, where it would have been way bigger, but then Pop gets murdered. Then you got a couple other acts that went to jail. K-Flock, and they would have been big stars in New York, so that
absolutely
fucked the genre up.
Yeah. What's being the fact that you lost 2 artists that are very close to you, what's the conversation now signing similar artists that are kind of in the same vein as those that we may have lost? Do you have a different conversation with them now prior to?
Telling that once you sign to a record label, you're a musician, and you should act like a musician. Yeah. You should just worry about music. Yeah. All the other stuff is just gonna take away from your musicalness.
Yeah. How much of a problem is some of the people you keep around you? So, and do you have to convince them to thin out the crew, not keep certain people, bring them to certain events or whatever, because they can be a liability to you also?
It comes down to maturity and the people you really have around you. I mean, you're an adult enough when you're over 18, and most of these people we sign are over 18, to know that who should you have around you, what aura you want around you, what vibes you want around you. Like, people know, and you have to. That's why I always tell them, just, you're a musician. Like, get that gangster shit out your mind. I ain't sign you to be no gangster. I ain't sign you to be in the army. I ain't sign you to be out here fighting. I sign you to be a musician and make music.
But did some of their popularity come from the gangster side that was shown through social, or shown, you know, that people got attracted to begin with?
Even if it did, I only assign people that's artists, so you got to be a full-on artist. Like, all right, that got you this far, cool, but that's not going to get you that far.
Right,
like,
so you got to transition to something
people
else.
At the end of the day want great music.
Yeah.
Right. And this is your profession now, right?
Definitely.
This is your job.
You're a
This is your,
musician now,
yeah,
you know,
so,
you got
yeah.
to really take it serious.
Define it. Yeah. What do you think the biggest struggle is for newer artists coming in today that you see most commonly?
Instagram. Like, you can't focus. Too many people looking at what other people doing every second of the day. These new artists not going home really writing or doing shit because you just got too much Instagram, too much stuff coming at you. You can't concentrate on the art form. There's too much going on.
So is it just Instagram, or is it all social media?
I mean, social media as a whole, like, just social media, just fuck you up when you're trying to create something.
But they're not really on Twitter, and they're a little bit on TikTok trying to promote the music.
Sorts of social media. I mean, you're trying to create something nobody's ever heard, and you just all day on Instagram listening to shit that people doing all day. Like, you know, it's not good for your artistry.
So what do you think, and you can pick your artist, pick outside, who are the most recent hip-hop stars, like, that you look at it and say, this is a certified star, or on the way to being a star? And you can't just say your artist. It's not fair.
I'm going to say artists that I like that's new, that's not stars yet. Maybe like a Ken Carson, 4 Bats. He makes good music. I mean, there's not many, though.
Were there people you weren't able to sign that you're disappointed that you missed out on, that you didn't get, that you lost the battle? Regrets?
Not this last couple years. Like, I don't feel like there's nothing too crazy that I lose sleep over. Y'all right, you know, like, is anybody that you excited about the last couple years? Like, really, truly, like, oh shit, like, let me go up and.
Okay, but that's a bigger conversation. Why is that, right? Like, we were talking earlier, you know, you've had females over the past few years between Sexy Red and Ice Spice be on the bigger side. You can argue how much of a fan you are, talent-wise and all of that, but definitely they've gotten big. So where are the last male rap stars that are on the come up, or what's the landscape as a whole? I mean, we do freshmen every year. We have to come up with some of them, but to your point, it's a different level of talent than it used to be. So what happened? What's your take?
I think social media. These people, even the Kodak era, the PnB era, the A Boogie era, like, these people was writing.
Right, yeah,
absolutely.
Like, I go to the studio now with new artists, nobody writes or anything. No attention span. Like, all right, cool. Like, I'm on social media today, I'm looking. Before, people really be in notebooks, right?
Right.
You know, it's just a new era. Songs used to be 4 minutes, now they fucking a minute and 40 seconds.
That's a fact.
But you just had a Kendrick and Drake beef with those songs for 6-7 minutes. So that's kind of, right?
Kendrick been rapping 50. These dudes been doing this.
I'm trying to say we got some long songs there,
These
you
dudes
know?
been doing this 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, they not of the new era. They
Okay,
just
so what'd you think of that
great
beef?
artists.
What was your take on that beef?
I mean, I think it was great on both sides. Great bars, great music. I'm a fans of both of them.
Did you come out bigger fan of one than the other after it and pick a side, or?
I mean, I don't pick no sides. I just listen to the music and see what I like. But I liked it all, the Kendrick shit. You know, Drake, you just listen to him so much. He been on top so long, and he just been putting music out constantly for 15 years. So, you know, Kendrick don't put a lot of stuff out. So, you know.
Right. You're talking a project year after year after year after year with Drake, plus a big tour, plus a second leg of the tour with J. Cole. You know, did we get oversaturated by him? With him?
Yeah, he just because he makes great music every time. But, you know, and then in that too, when you all the way on top, people just, you know, sometimes they be like, oh shit, you know, just to see you stumble. But, you know, at the end of the day, he's the biggest artist ever. Like, you know, so what you gonna take away from the man? Like, you know, Kendrick don't put out a lot of music. When he did put out music, it hit at the right time. His timing is everything.
Yeah. It was an exciting weekend.
Drake ain't no slouch.
No, because he did his thing on those songs, but Kendrick was just in a different space.
Just that fucking beat.
Right, the mustard beat,
That beat, you know, Drake does this shit every day. Like Kendrick do this shit a lot. So methodically, he ain't have a lot to, he just had a couple plays to make, and he made the right plays. Drake does this shit every day for fucking 15 years. Like, he's just putting shit out and still shitting on everybody. Yeah. Kendrick masterminded his whole shit behind this shit. So it's just two different things, but they both fire. Yeah. You can't. They both the best in this shit. That's it.
So do you go to your artists and you point out things from the kind of beef? You point out that they rapped on it, they wrote it. Like, how much is it? Like, watch this. They don't hear any of it, right? And it's all men too, arguing too, right?
They don't care about none of that shit.
Yeah. But you got a hard job. I just have to document. You got to figure it out.
The kids don't care about this shit.
Yeah.
So,
two shits about it.
Speaking of the kids in the new generation, what do you look for when it's time for you to sign something new? What attracts you?
Somebody with a social following.
Not Instagram.
It's hard, man. That social following don't last. The last couple years, that shit don't equate to a great artist. Like, you still need to rather just get a good artist and put great projects together and see what happens, rather than just try to go for numbers. Numbers ain't working.
Yeah. And how important is artist development for you?
That's the most important thing. Yeah. We missing the executive producer nowadays. So nobody really gets executive producing. If they do, Drake, executive, always been executive produced. Kendrick, they always had good executive producers behind them.
Yeah.
Like, it's not now you got these kids, it's just dumb.
Yeah.
What about rap crews? I mean, I was talking to someone the other day.
We need more rap crews.
Yeah, we stopped having them, right?
Yeah.
Why?
We need them.
Like, why
everybody wants to be a star? On social media, you want to be a star. Before, it'd be like, we might be a crew. You might not be dope enough to be by yourself and have a career, and you neither. Me neither, but all of us together, I'm good, I sound good, we all sound good, and we all make it. And a lot of people used to do that before.
Right, and you can't really rap, so you're running the label, right? You got the money,
but a lot of people got on like that. Yeah. Now you don't do that. Nobody does that.
No, it's different. I mean, there used to be real movements or rap crew movements, and I think also you're missing the Birdmans, right? You're missing the moguls, the music execs. Everybody wants to be the rapper or the star,
correct?
Not necessarily the label head, and that was a character in itself, right?
Definitely. Everybody wants to be the star. Instagram, you put your camera on, you're the star.
You could just be rich without being the star.
Born stars, and there's some not. Some people cut through, but that's 1 in a million.
Yeah.
1 in
the charisma,
million.
So when an artist walks in and starts, what do you do? What's your process? You're looking, how do you find them? You're on Instagram, you're on, like, where are you originally searching for
social media,
a buzz?
Everywhere. Like, everywhere.
You're bored, you're at home, you're trying to figure them.
Just wherever you can come up with an artist at.
But you're bored and you get on the internet and you're looking for an artist. Where's the first place you go?
I mean, I don't really look for artists on the internet.
Okay. Like, so you're waiting.
I just SoundCloud.
Well, that's the internet.
Really not know YouTube or videos. Just listen to music, see whose playlist is what they playing. Really younger shit though. Shit you really never heard of.
And then how competitive is it against other labels, other executives early on? Because it seems like we've been looking lately, and like this artist has barely any follower or anything, and everybody's on him already.
Yeah,
I'll see mutual Instagram followers.
It's like that everybody offers them deals, and they might not be ready for that deal, but every label wants to sign them. So, it's all the numbers, and you might just be signing a number, and then you sign somebody who's not ready to get that type of deal or mature enough to do it. Is just a whole bunch of factors.
So what we hear a lot lately, and we argue about it on the staff, is who's an industry plant? What's an industry plant? So what's your take on it? As the industry, what's your take on an industry plant? Is there a thing?
No.
Right.
There's no such thing as if we could do industry plants, I'll do it every day. I'll plant anybody.
Right.
The only thing you can't pick in the music business is what people like.
Right.
Yeah.
That's we can do everything else, but we can't pick what you're gonna like.
Right.
So what gut or what do you use to help kind of determine that? Because in your role, you have to kind of
have a barometer,
a barometer, and also kind of predict the future, of what people are going to like. So what are some of the things that you look for? It's like, okay, you have this, and I think that is people are going to be able to digest this.
I mean, there's all types. This is just meeting a person and seeing what they got about them.
Okay.
it's all being true to yourself.
Right.
And how you interact with people. And really being true to yourself, though.
Yeah.
If you really yourself. If you a street type dude and that's what you portraying and that's what you do, then cool, but that's what you really do. If you a library type dude, but that's what you acting like, well, this is what I do. As long as you true to yourself. You're a painter type dude and that's what you on, like, I'm acting like this, I really paint this, is what I'm doing. Like, as long as you true to yourself, that's what I really look like. Because once somebody ain't true to themselves, they lost.
100%.
Is the music for you, or is the music that you're signing for a younger audience? Is it about you liking it? Is it about what you think?
It's about a younger audience.
Okay. So where is it? Siblings? Is it nieces and nephews? How do you find the younger audience that you test it with?
We'll get in a studio here in New York, and we just put people in there, and just everybody goes in there and listens to music, and we see what's hot and not hot. And we got young kids in there, old kids, just all types of people in there, just listening to stuff and seeing what's hot, what's not. Why young kids think this is hot, why we think it's not, why y'all think it's not, or we just compare and talk shit all day. That's the best way to do it.
Where does radio fit in the landscape today to you as a record exec? How important, how not important, maybe difference in the East Coast and Middle America? What's the
I mean, that's the last frontier. Like, you shouldn't worry about radio if you're an artist nowadays at all, unless you got a record already going somewhere, everybody's talking about you, and you want to go to the next level. You don't really need radio to make it. You could be streaming all day and not have one song on the radio and be a young boy and have more streams than anybody else. So, you just have to work hard. Because without radio really isn't a factor to making it in the music business or making money in the music business.
So it's for the established.
Yeah, you could be very successful and your song never play on the radio, not one time.
How important, I heard you mention it a few times, how important is it being outside, being visible as an artist and as an executive? And then on the flip side, streaming heavy, is that considered being outside?
I mean, you should always engage with your fans and engage with the people at a safe parameter and point in your career. It depends what point of career you're in. If you're trying to build a fan base and nobody knows you, should be outside doing everything you can. If you're already big, you keep it limited to what you can. But if you're a new artist, you should definitely try to touch as many people as you can, so they can meet you and see how you are and see what your vibe is like.
Right. And is having a presence on, because there are some that I may not be the most charismatic person, but I know where my audience is online and I know how to engage them. Is that effective as well? Or
absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, as long as you can engage your fan base, you already.
Because the followers aren't as important as the engagement that's actually comes with the followers,
definitely.
right?
I mean, you guys doing the freshman cover, which I love. You give a lot of people a jump board, like that helps a lot of artists big time. How many times you've had to put somebody on the cover, you're like, I ain't never been on the radio, or I ain't never. And you got to do it.
Yeah, no, it's a mix. You're putting people on who everybody demands to be on there, and if you don't do them, that they won't, that you're going to get it wrong, even though you kind of feel like there's really no longevity there. But in the moment, that's where everybody is. You're doing ones that, have one song, and everybody's talking about it, and not even a full project. And that's how quick. Used to be for freshmen that you had to have a full length. You couldn't have a full length album out. Now you're lucky. Sometimes they blow up and they have 2 or 3 songs. See,
it's like signing artists now. Before you gotta have all this. You gotta have all these boxes checked.
Yeah.
If not, you can't even come close to this. And the record deal now it's like, oh shit, I gotta. This is what the people want.
Exactly.
Right now.
And it can move so fast. It could be like you could pick them.
I might put you on the cover because everybody wants you. Next year, 6 months, you might not be streaming not one fucking iota. But
you could pick them for the cover in April, shoot them in May, come out in June, have them be over by August.
And that's how it is getting a record deal.
Yeah.
That's how fast it is. So if you don't really sign real artists, you get stuck in a place where it's a business and you have to move shit.
Yeah, you do.
But for us, we've even seen now I'm getting negative. When you do the ciphers, we've seen it be more of a struggle for the artists to know how to get through the ciphers. They used to be able to come in and bang through them and rap through them. Now you see more takes having to be done, or less security and even doing the cipher performance at all, or doing the freestyle at all.
And people be excited for that. That was something that people would be like, oh, I got to go in there and kill this shit.
Yeah, they used to, exactly. They used to be excited. They looked at it as a moment for competition. Now they don't feel like they need it. They're shook to do it, or they can't get through it. And you just see more of a struggle. And what you see is then sometimes the clothing and the special jacket coming for the day being more important than the freestyle. Yeah. So you're waiting on this customized jacket, but you're not doing the freestyle,
Yeah, that's how that should be now. So even with signing artists, it'd be the same way. Like, we got to get back to artistry and, slow them numbers down and start getting shit that really makes sense.
So have you struggled with signing somebody, having an idea they were going to be a certain type of artist, and then seeing later
100
it wasn't
times.
that, right? Okay.
Remember, we signed, this is what y'all see, but we'll sign 100 people in a year, which I going to listen to 5, 6 of them. Still 95 other people we dealing with.
So what do you say to somebody when it doesn't work out? We're letting you go, we're dropping you. It's like, how does that go?
I try to work with them as much as I can, but then you get so much knowledge at that point that it's probably a better split for you if you go than a label don't want to put the time into it because it's not working out for both of you.
Right. I don't really ever hear the conversation of how do you let them go once you invested into them, and the relationship end rather than it continue.
I mean, most of the time it's not bad because, a label invested a lot of money into you. You can go independent now and do your own thing. Usually a label won't let you go in a year. It'll be 5 years. By then you matured. If you got a fan base and you learn the business, then you could have a good career without radio, without anything.
There's been a lot of layoffs in the record industry lately. How's that affected your job and kind of the morale and everything that's going on a day-to-day basis? We've seen people who've worked with for 20, 25 years not be in the same space anymore. So how does that affect your daily job, from morale to getting things done with less bodies?
We still got to sell records. We still have to show up for the artists. And, it's a job like anything else. You have to show up. You have to do good. If not, you're going home. So, we all know that. So, we have to stay there and sell as many records as we can sell and do what we have to do for the artists to make everybody happy.
So with that, how important is getting an artist good, getting them on tour, getting their live performance together? Is that's secondary to the selling of the records? Is it tertiary? Like, where does that fit in to you guys?
That's all huge, and we help with that because, they have a touring manager, touring agents and people that take care of all of that. We just facilitate everything for them.
And do they practice? Because if you're not getting them to write, are they practicing their performance?
Everything. You have to go to you have to practice. If you're not practicing your shows, you're not going to have a good show. I reiterate to people, this is a job. You have to work at this. Like, this ain't nothing that...
You might be young, but you chose your profession.
I did a little freestyle and I'm lit. Like, this could change your whole family's lives. Your kids' lives. So you really have to take this serious. Even if you're 16 and you got on, you got to be a little man now. Or young lady now. You have to really take this shit serious because this shit could change your whole family's fortune.
What's a successful artist to you? What makes a successful artist?
An artist that stays out of trouble, takes music serious, and could feed himself off of music. Survive off of his music.
Okay.
So, with the things the way they are now, and I think we're on the same page that it's harder to find talent. You're finding talent, it's harder to make stars. What do you see happening over the next 5 years, 3 years, whatever? What do you see, what happens with hip-hop now? We've just celebrated 50 years. The landscape is a little bit different than it has been. We've lost a lot of artists. So do we make superstars anymore? Are we going to make artists that are one day going to be at the Super Bowl again, and do their own performance down the road? Or some people don't believe the day of stars and making stars exists anymore.
That's
so
what I'm hearing.
That's what you're hearing.
I think that somebody's always going to come out of nowhere and, break the norm and, oh shit, who's this guy? And everybody's going to gravitate towards that person. I don't think there's going to be as many stars, but I don't think there's not going to be no stars that just want to make any sense. Somebody's going to gravitate to somebody. Probably not as many as before, but we're going to have a superstar here and there. It's just not going to be many anymore.
So who's the last one we had?
And rap?
Yeah.
Pop Smoke.
Okay.
That our street rapper that was a superstar, the last one we seen was Pop Smoke. I mean, if there's anybody else, let me know.
Street rapper.
Street rapper, 19 years old, came out of nowhere. It was
all right, what about non-street rapper? We know you like the street rappers, but what about non-street rapper?
That's good. I haven't heard someone say Pop Smoke. That's good. Very good.
Wallen. Those country guys are racking up right now.
He was like, I only do country and street rap. Anything else in between, I'm not interested in. Don't hit me about Jack Harlow. I don't want to hear it. No, I'm just kidding.
Country.
No, it's a harder game than it ever was before. It looks for you guys in particular. Definitely. I mean, we see people sign and announce signings over and over again and be excited, and then you go and look at them and you're like, I don't know who this person is, but I might have to find out right away because they could be one song away from being relevant.
Look at how New York is right now. Mm-hmm. New York is somewhere that always had a superstar every year.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a different day. It's a different day. Yeah. What's your struggle with it as in the, in your publicity side of work? What do you say?
In my side, it's the record and the song growing faster than they're able to perform and deliver and captivate an audience, whether it's in person at a festival and it's hard to keep, the audience attention, or whether you're at an award show, or whether you're on television and it's like watching paint dry. I think that is where the artist development phase comes into play. And a lot of times because of social media, that can speed up the process faster than the artist is actually ready to deliver. Mm-hmm. And I think that is a big issue specifically for what it is that I do.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So for what you do, what's the difference between your two positions, your EVP position and your president? What are on a daily level? What are your responsibilities?
On Priority, legendary label, we bringing that back. A lot of legendary artists was on there. They taught the music business to a lot of people. Like when you said there's no more Birdmans, and all those people learned that motto from Priority.
Absolutely.
That's your P.
For sure.
Yeah.
Jay Prince.
Yeah.
Eazy-E.
Yeah.
Jay-Z. Ruckus Records. And all those people, when they left, they all owned their masters and everything. Even Duck Down. So, that was 6 behemoths. You don't have that now. You probably just have P and Coach on QC.
Right.
That's really came from nowhere and have a behemoth label.
Yeah.
Priority taught them the motto. And, we had a whole bunch of them. And I'm just trying to bring that back with Priority.
Meaning with new artists.
With new artists.
Not with legacy catalog.
Not with legacy,
okay.
We just bringing the streets back.
Got you.
And then Capital is, nice artists.
Pop Smoke and Morgan Wallen. I got it.
Trying to do big things.
I definitely think that's important though. Laying the blueprint and showing the next generation. This is how you build a legacy. This is how you create artists that will stand the test of time. And there hasn't been that many blueprints. So that's a very important role. So I'm glad to see that you at the driver's seat of that and bringing it to the forefront because kids need to see. You don't just have to be the talent. Where did this
be the business also.
100%, and it takes a team, So everyone look what happens when everyone plays their role,
How important is management? Is good management out there? I mean, we used to have a world of managers that people jump to.
The fucking most important thing is having a good manager. Not a good assistant.
Right.
Not a good blunt roller. A fucking real manager.
Yeah.
People don't have good managers. There's probably 2 or 3 good ones.
So where'd they go? What happened to all the managers? They had enough?
The managers just became everything, and they forgot what managers were. They started becoming A&Rs and assistants and your personal driver, and you got to get this for me and get that for me, and then you forgot that the manager's just supposed to handle your business.
Right.
Manage your business, not manage
and they can
you.
grow with you and learn it with you.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask, how does one get for everyone out there that's, all the artists that are out there that are watching, that are listening, how do they get a good manager? How do they know who to determine what is a good manager? What qualifies as that?
You got to either be lucky to know one or your talent dictates that a good manager wants to work with you.
Yeah.
If not, you have to get to a point where you're successful enough where somebody will want to come in and manage you because they can make money with you.
Yeah.
How much does the manager expected to put their own money into you?
The manager shouldn't put any money into you.
Because you'll hear a lot of people and they'll be like, I put so-and-so into this and I spent this and da-da-da. And then you wonder, like, how much is the manager supposed to put on their line for the new artist?
Manager's not supposed to put any money into you. Manager's just supposed to manage your career. That's an investor. That's two different things.
But the line can get blurred.
The line gets blurred, and that's what happened with being good managers.
Yeah.
Now I'm your A&R.
Right.
I gotta go get you from your house. I gotta go get your food. I gotta go do this now. I'm not it's just too much.
Yeah.
And then people get the line blurred on what a manager is. A manager's just supposed to handle your business. A manager's not supposed to pay for anything. I mean, you can help an artist. A manager, you want to help them, but you shouldn't even open that door.
I feel like managers, they get whatever is lacking, they get dumped on them. You know, so sometimes by default, it's like, oh, well, we're such and such. Well, whoever that person's not there.
It's always the manager's fault.
Yes.
Everything is always your fault.
Yeah.
The sneakers don't fit you, it's the manager's fault.
Yeah.
You know, the manager can never win. Being a manager is very tough in this business.
It is. It's a tough thing, and it's not as glorified as people, make it seem to be. It's a very tough thing.
There's only let's say 8 big rappers in the world.
Yeah.
If you ain't managing one of them, your job is fucking hard.
You're right.
This is my favorite question is, what moments have you gotten to be around that you were starstruck over, that you were excited that when you look back, either at that moment you knew it was amazing you were around it doesn't have to be hip-hop, or that, when you look back at it, you realize it was a great moment? Really starstruck, I mean, being in the room with.
I'm a Jay-Z early, man. That's the only one that's going to have me. So once you meet him, like, there's nothing else. It's going to start with rap, There's no other rapper,
Yeah.
Oh, I seen Big Daddy Kane. I was hype. I seen him. Old rappers, that I listen to,
Was there a moment that you were a part of, and in that moment you knew it was going to be history? Like
Kodak Black.
Okay.
Like seeing him and being around him, I knew he was going to be dead famous.
Yeah.
Like, oh, all right, now this guy right here is fucking entertaining.
Yeah.
So you were with him at Atlantic. You're not there anymore. What's it like to come in with an artist, to invest so much of your time and energy into them, and then to not be working with them anymore? And they go on, and they have their career, but you're not, cool. How much is that a struggle to see them succeed without you, or to see them make moves that you would have advised them differently on?
I mean, it's good to see them, go. It's always good to see them do good. Kodak is with us, though, at Capitol.
From Atlantic over there, right? Yeah.
But it's always good to, you always want to see these people become your family, so you want to see them all grow and do good.
Yeah. Right? What's your biggest advice that you give to somebody who wants to be in your position? Not the artist, the record executive.
Just work hard, stay focused, and be nice to everybody.
He says with a smile. I don't know if you're nice or not. You've always been nice. No.
Just work hard and be nice and respectful to everybody.
All right, last question for you is, what are you excited about?
Now,
today, because it's coming up.
I'm excited about some kid that's 14 in his house rapping that's going to change rap.
We don't even know who he is, just a random 14-year-old.
Somebody got to change this shit. When y'all young kids got to really get focused and change this shit, because it's not good right now. There's a couple good artists pushing the envelope, but we need more. We need more people to really take this shit serious.
Which would mean go back to writing, or that's not the answer?
Go back to the artistry of rap. Like, this is a good way to feed your family, good way to make it wherever you got to make it. If you ain't got other tools, you ain't no Ivy League student or something like that, you could really make a good living with this if you take it serious.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people put a spin on it, and you're being very blatant with, like, it's not so great right now. And I think a lot of people don't want to feel that way, but don't want to admit that.
There's great people making money right now. Don't get me wrong, but the art form ain't where it should be. It could be better.
Right. But I don't think a lot of people say that. I think a lot of people try to, act a little bit more positive and act like everything's great when we're all looking at the same thing.
People know what they listening to.
Yeah.
The people that you listen to been making music 20 years, 15 years.
We just had this conversation right now.
Yes.
You probably had somebody slide a hit in there, but the people that you listen to every day that been making music for 15 years, they just ain't come out of nowhere and did this shit. Had a magic trick. Shit don't work like that.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens, right? It's on you to change it.
I mean, we trying. All we can do is try, help the youth.
There we go.
Inform the youth.
Yeah.
And try to make it on that XXL cover.
Yeah, I hope so.
That's what we can do.
Well, thank you for joining us.
Definitely.
This is
Thank you for
XXL's
having me.
Inside Track, and we'll see you next time.
Let's get it.